Welcome to TALKZ Talks, the space where we say what needs to be said because life gave me chaos and I turned it into conversation. I'm your host, Terry, and today we're going to talk about something that's a little personal, slightly uncomfortable, but it's very necessary. And that is the people who clap for you publicly but compete with you privately. You ever notice that the loudest "I'm proud of you" sometimes come from the quietest supporters in real life? Like, don't get me wrong, these people might repost your wins. They might drop a heart emoji or two here and there. They might even show up to a launch. But when the time comes to really back you, they're silent. That's not love. That's a fucking performance. And knowing the difference between somebody who really has your back and someone who is just phony kicking it for the socials is of absolute importance these days. And that's something that I personally had to learn with blood, sweat, and tears. That's something that at plenty of times have cost me more peace of mind, my freedom, and often friends and family relationships, time over and time again. I had to learn that support isn't what people say. It's not about how loud that they scream for you. It's not even about how much of a pat on the back that they give you. It's about what they do when you're not around. It's about what they do when no one's watching. It's about what they do when they're in private. Sometimes the people closest to you resent your growth. I will say that again. Sometimes the people closest to you resent your growth the most. Why is that? Because they see your growth, and much like the selfish people that they are, they make it about themselves and what they haven't managed to do in their own lives. But the fact of the matter is that growth creates distance. One of the most difficult parts about stepping into my purpose is knowing that I will inevitably be outgrowing people that I once thought were permanent. And here's the truth: growth exposes comfort. It intentionally makes you uncomfortable because it's going to push you to a place where you haven't been before. Thus, the term growth and growing pains. It challenges dynamics. It flips the roles. Suddenly, you ain't little sis no more. You're not little bro no more. You done leveled up. You the one that's got the focus now. You the one that's got the motion. And not everybody can take that. These people, they don't always want to see you win. The fact is that they were probably more comfortable with you in the version of you where you had no motion, where you were easier to manipulate. That doesn't mean that you changed for the worse. It just simply means that you're elevated. That's what comes along with it. But that cost, that distance, it's often necessary. So when you spot it, it is of utter importance that you do not run from it. Run to it and run through it. Embrace it. Live it. Own it. Think about it like this: what you look like dimming your light because you're shining so bright that it makes them uncomfortable, that it make you shining so bright that it makes them squint to be around you. You're shining so bright that they can't even look at you straight because they gotta cover their eyes up because you just too bright. You got too much aura for them. It sounds goofy. Turning yourself down in order to make them turning yourself down in order to make them uncomfortable, turning yourself down to make someone who's uncomfortable comfortable is goofy as fuck. And I do not only do I do not recommend it. Okay, take that paragraph back. What do you look like dimming your light because you're shining so bright that it makes other people uncomfortable? That sounds goofy. That's one of the most counterproductive things that you could do for your motion. That's not humility. That's not loyalty. That's first degree self sabotage, a crime punishable by your lack of prosperity. I had to start watching who only shows up for me when I'm struggling. I had to start watching that because at the end of the day, I wanted to know when I did a self assessment, when I did some self reflection, I had to look at who was really dining on my drama. Who was it that only tapped into a post of mine when I had something negative to say? And the fact of the matter is that I have the evidence to support it. I would have 10 times as many reactions on a post of a negative nature than I would of a positive nature. And that in and of itself should show you, should live to be the example, the sole example, whether it's anecdotal or not, that people are not fucking happy for you. They're not really clapping for you. They're not really wanting you to elevate and to level up in which you are intending to do so. They love the old you. They hate the new you that wants to leave behind the old habits, the old mannerisms. They're bothered. They're upset. They're scared. But that's not your fucking issue. That's on them, not on you. You have to know the difference. Yes, yes, it hurts. It hurts knowing that you can't rock with one of your day ones like that you can't rock with your girl like that anymore because fact of the matter is, shorty a hater. You can't rock with bro like that because bro ain't with the movement. He might have used to been at one time when y'all were out and about fucking off, but not anymore. Not that you trying to get on some positive and some uplifting stuff. All of a sudden, things changed up and they run around talking behind your back, talking about how much you've changed and how much you've switched it up and you don't know where you come from. But in reality, it's not about where you came from. That's a limiting belief that people put into your head and project upon you to try and guilt trip you. Because where you are from does not matter as much as where you intend to go. The windshield is bigger than the rear view for a reason. Shout out to Jelly Roll. So to cap this all up, you got to move forward. The real ones, they're going to show up and speak up consistently. You don't have to chase their validation. You're not going to have to ensure that what you're doing is in alignment with them. If they fuck with you, if they are really rocking with you, if they are really a part of the movement, they will be there. You will not have to look for them. You will not have to make a special call out for them. If you do, you might want to reevaluate the level and the hey, bottom line is if you do, you might have to reevaluate the whole relationship. You shouldn't have to look down and search them down when it's time for you to get in motion. They should already be there. And I just want to say that if there was ever a reason for not waiting around, if I would have waited, if oops, and to be clear, if I had to wait for unanimous support, I'd still be sitting on those same ideas and dreams that were meant to change lives. And as far as I'm concerned, that is an egregious waste of time and a valuable waste of talent. I'm trying to help people put themselves and their companies in position to win. That's what I do. The crazy part of it all is that I've been this way for a long fucking time. They just refused to recognize it because they had a version of me made up in their minds of who they wanted me to be. And until I really turned the heat up and applied the pressure about who I am versus who they thought me to be, that point became undeniable. But look, I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. If any of this hits home with you, share it with somebody else who needs to hear it. Save it to your playlist. Drop a like on it. Stop hating. Stop the hating bullshit. Drop a like. Drop a reaction for your boy. Drop a bomb for me. I drop one. See, I let the world run with their little social media shit unchecked, uninterrupted, unfiltered for a long fucking time. I had to humble myself and sit quiet for a long fucking time until God told me that it was my turn. And I promised God in return that I was going to run it up. I was going to run it down their throats, and I was not going to care who had an issue with it. So let me make this clear. I don't make subliminals. This is not a subliminal towards anyone who may or may not be feeling any type of way. This is motivation. This is me speaking motivation to you. This is me trying to uplift you. If you felt some way about it, if a shoe fits you in some type of a way, I apologize about your misunderstanding of that, but I don't take accountability for it because I unapologetically am speaking and living in my truth. I really had to do that healing shit that everybody likes to make trendy now. I really had to go through that self-reflective and introspective journey that everyone made trendy now. I was doing that before it was cool. I had to do that in order to get to be the person that's in front of this camera right now, that's sitting in front of this microphone at this time, speaking my truth to you. Because before that, I was living in a facade of 20 different versions of myself, and I was being a different one of them for any given person at any given time. And within that, in and of itself, you lose yourself. And that's the saddest thing that anyone can do. That's the saddest thing anyone can do. But look, that said, you're gonna have to come to realization with the fact that as you level up, and remember, we're gonna get you there. We're gonna get you there. TALKZ gonna level you the fuck up. Again, I'm going to turn you up and I won't stop until I do that. Not everybody, not everybody is meant to come along with you. Until next time, stay locked in. TALKZ gone. Welcome to TALKZ Talks, the space where we say what needs to be said because life gave me chaos and I turned it into conversation. I'm your host, Terry, and today we're going to talk about something that's a little personal, slightly uncomfortable, but it's very necessary. And that is the people who clap for you publicly but compete with you privately. You ever notice that the loudest "I'm proud of you" sometimes come from the quietest supporters in real life? Like, don't get me wrong, these people might repost your wins. They might drop a heart emoji or two here and there. They might even show up to a launch. But when the time comes to really back you, they're silent. That's not love. That's a fucking performance.